You're listening to the world-famous Y Roof Radio. Wow, sound like Peter Brady going through puberty. This is Woofcast number 636, recorded January 11th, 2018. Wow, I actually got the date right, too. Go me. Tonight's episode brought to you by Cravenspeed.com, MotoringBadges.com, and OutMotoring.com. Mini performance, speed, and style. It's OutMotoring.com. Hey everybody, it's DB in Arizona with a brand new episode of the world-famous White Roof Radio. Back from our long winter slumber. No, not really. We just took a couple weeks off for Christmas and all that. Going old school tonight, too. We got my good friend Todd Pearson has joined us this evening. Todd, say hi from MotoringStripes.com.
I'm here. Greetings.
And Mr. Bridger is here as well from MotoringFile.com. And I think I've unleashed something that I'm just really sorry for because I've got Gabe watching brake check videos on YouTube.
Hola, me llamo Gabe. And if I could say it in Espanol, I would say, and I like brake check videos.
and we have a show title.
Yo me gusto brake check videos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought that felt too easy, though.
No,
there's got to be something else.
No, it's a
video de brake checko.
Yes, that's it.
Me gusta brake check videos. I'm sure that's close. Anyway, we're not actually going to talk about brake check videos, but honestly, if you guys need to kill a few minutes at work or something, just YouTube up some brake check videos. Oh my God.
Or guys, do it while you're driving.
No, don't.
No.
Don't do that.
Don't.
That is not condoned.
Do as we do, not as Gabe. Do as we do, not as Gabe says, please. Good grief. We're not going to talk about that. We are here to talk about Mini Cooper stuff. I hope everybody had a great week, great weekend, a great New Year, Christmas, all that. I had a fantastic holiday. Gabe, I'm sure had a good holiday. Gabe, you had a good holiday?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I kept every time I opened up Instagram, there was Gabe fawning further over his Clubman. So
I wasn't fawning. I was just I was playing in the snow.
He was fawning over his Clubman, as I said before. And so we're going to be talking more about that because we had to stop Gabe like 5 times from talking about it during Black Roof Radio. Todd, you had a good holiday, good Christmas?
I did. It was so damn cold in Kansas City. We pretty much didn't leave the house.
Oh, awesome. Well,
so, Todd, how damn cold? Because, come on.
How cold was it?
Let's see. The coldest morning I saw was -11.
Okay, that's cold.
How is it that cold when
that's not a wind chill?
North.
That's not
quite
a wind
north.
Chill. That's not a wind
Well,
chill.
I will say, being by the lake, you are up 10 degrees, which is nice.
Mm.
And I managed to within a week's time. It wasn't like a record. It wasn't insane, but we did get like 26, 28 inches of snow.
Yeah, we got no snow. We've gotten nothing but a couple of dustings here and there, but we got plenty of cold.
Wow.
Which then brings me to Jim Peterson. Actually, Gabe Bridger would be proud. I literally just put my winter tires on yesterday.
What?
Yeah, I literally waited.
Why do it now? Why not do it in March?
Well, see, that's the thing. I thought, you know what? The longer I wait, the closer because I've been running, just so everybody knows, Michelin Pilot Super Sports, which are ultra performance.
How did you run those tires in 11-degree temperatures or -11-degree temps?
Well, you run them square is what you run them.
So here's the thing, though, is that we've had so much cold and a little bit of couple of dustings of snow. It really doesn't matter what kind of tires are on your car because the streets are covered with 5-6 inches of snow of salt.
That's not true. So the salt sucks. And by the way. Why are you guys? I got started on this, but what matters? Snow tires are so amazing because I know the salt makes it dusty and it doesn't matter theoretically, but it does because salt takes salt out of it for a second. Snow tires or winter tires is actually they're called is a compound is designed to work in temperatures below zero.
Believe me,
so they're pliable, they grip, etc.
Okay.
Whereas your square tires.
No,
which I say square because they actually takes a while for them to get round again as you drive them in cold.
Exactly.
They're just like a dog on like really really polished wood floors.
They're just slipping all around,
trying to run.
Which is actually kind of fun. On one hand, here's the thing.
Oh yeah, it's true.
We've got Blizzaks on the Roadster. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's the irony: the least winter car. Which, by the way,
that's a winter.
don't know. We know. We know
And
based on what Gabe has said, and I mean, my Roadster's killing it for this Arizona winter. Let me tell you.
I will tell you, the Roadster's a great winter car.
Oh, it's a perfect winter car.
There's such a small space to heat in there. We literally cannot drive that car with the heat on.
Yeah,
full.
the heated seats come on right away, and hell, I still got the top down. My openometer is almost 500 hours or something ridiculous. I don't even look at it anymore. It's just always open.
So yeah, the point is, we got BlizzX on the Roadster. So I've got to, when I want to drive a little more spirited, and they really, there's a huge difference.
Yeah.
But it was in the 50s last week. We had like a week of, mid 50s. And so I kept thinking, it's dry, it's in the 50s. I'm going to keep these Michelins on absolutely as long as I can. And then yesterday it was, I'm not kidding you, yesterday was 57 degrees, and they were predicting, for 24 hours, a big snow and ice storm. And it was going to be
what I'm enjoying right now.
Right. It's 14 degrees right now. So we went from 57 degrees. I was grilling out steaks last night. 57 degrees.
I just like you're ahead of me. You've traveled in the future, because right now it was 57 degrees earlier today. Yep. And tomorrow it's supposed to be like 13.
Yep. So you're going to experience that. So anyway, yesterday when it was nice and warm, I'm like, screw it. I'm going to spend the time on putting the And really,
it's going to be cold. I mean, it's like, I'm looking at the 7 day. It's like 25, 16, 20, right. 20, 20, 24, 16. But you know what? Bring it on.
That's why I did it.
I'm going to go ahead and end the weather segment and do a sponsor piece by reminding everybody here in Arizona, currently as we are recording this, which is 8:19 Mountain Standard Time, because we don't have to do daylight savings time, which is just truly ridiculous. It's currently it's well, not really. It means we do it better. But anyway, it's currently a balmy 57 degrees here in Arizona. After having a high temperature of quite a delightful, very sunshiny 68 degrees. I was driving around most of the day with the top down. Tomorrow we're expecting a high of 70, and Saturday it should be 77 degrees. In
well, how can I? Area. So because I want to talk a little bit about snow tires and my experience, because I think it's valid, because it's there's a company car.
Yeah.
Shall we talk about that very quickly now?
Let's talk about that. Weather. No, let's talk about that really quickly after we remind everybody about a sponsor underneath the white roof.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Put a pin in it.
Put a pin in it just for a second, Gabe. Just for a second. It's all good. New Year.
All right.
New Year. So that means that you guys got a whole bunch of money for Christmas. So you're looking for a way to use that cash, just burn a hole in your pocket, right? Don't even lie to me. I know it is. It's just burning a hole in your pocket. So what I want you to do is punch up our friends over at motoring.com, and you need tools. You need car care products. You need a pair of those fancy shoes, or you need a hat, or it's event season. We're going to talk about events later today too. We got Mini Takes the States this year. We got Minis on Top. We got Southwest Mini Fest. There's a ton of Mini Cooper events. You got to look sharp, yo. You're going to punch up outmotoring.com. Go over there. First thing you're going to do before you even place an order is make sure you're getting the email newsletter, because if you get the email newsletter, you're also getting the 5% discount coupon. Super duper awesome. And then when you've got your 5% discount code, then you can go place an order for all your stuff and save 5% doing it. It's pretty awesome. Don't forget free shipping on most things over $195. All the things that you want for your Mini, for your person, for your Aston Martin. Yeah, Aston Martin. Anyway, all that available at outmotoring.com. Just make sure you sign up for the email newsletter. That's the big thing. And then, car care products, parts. It's Outmotoring is your parts desk, and also your clothing store for anything Mini related. Okay? Outmotoring.com. Mini performance, speed, and ambient style door handle covers. That looks pretty cool. That's our friends over at Outmotoring. Outmotoring.com. Now I'm going to do news music, because I don't think I can find the audio file. I'll see if I can find it.
It's in Dropbox.
I know it's there somewhere. Gabe, winter tires, go. And we lost Gabe. Did we lose Gabe?
Hello.
Oh, there he is.
Funny you mentioned winter tires. Yes. I have a set of winter tires that I really enjoy.
And you've got them on the company car, correct?
Our lovely Clubman, JCW Clubman, has moved from the summer tire sort of configuration, if you will, to a winter tire configuration very recently. And I have to tell you, I think, Todd, you mentioned it. It is fun until you get to real snow. If it's just dustings, it's actually kind of fun on summer tires.
Yeah.
It's, especially with the all-wheel drive. And I have been really, really surprised at how quick the all-wheel drive is, the new system in the club, and it's the same in the Countryman, how quick it is to transition torque from front to back.
Yeah.
I've gotten to the point where I can actually rotate the car and get the back end out in the right type of situation on a tight turn when I accelerate. And it's really pretty impressive. So it was a lot of fun. But that said, I recently spent a good deal of time up in Michigan and Indiana, which is, for those who don't know, it's a heavy snowbelt area because of the lake effect snow there, and it is intense in terms of lake effect. And so I dealt with snow up to 26, 28 inches at times. Some of it sometimes barely plowed, and that car never missed a beat, never once. I went through dirt roads, I went through driveways, everything, and it was just absolutely phenomenal. I went through whiteout conditions. I was easily the fastest person on the highway, passing people in Jeeps who kind of couldn't believe it. And it's a Mini, I think that's kind of the cool thing to know that, with that all-wheel drive system, which is really, really good in terms of the way it's able to so quickly determine where slipper is and transfer torque to that tire, to that part of the car.
However,
it does so seamlessly. It's amazing the control that car has.
Can I say that really I'm going to chalk up, and I really haven't driven an all-wheel drive Mini in a lot of snow that much, but I will say that 90% of your winter driving is because of the Blizzaks that you've got on there.
90% of how good it is. Yes, tires. I wouldn't say 90, but I would say that's maybe 80. Really the right tire is key, and I think that's kind of where I was going. It's like my point
was you don't need all-wheel drive if you've got the right tires.
That's true. No. That's true. But I will tell you right now, if you live in an area that I just described, where you get, you can count on at least 6+ inches of snow every week.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta tell you, man, I've never experienced a Mini in snow like I did the past couple of weeks, and I've been saying that forever. I've had snow tires on rear wheel drive, front wheel drive. I've gotten through anything more or less with some drama at times, but I've always gotten through stuff. There's something pretty cool about not having to ever worry, ever.
Yeah,
it just goes through anything. That's pretty awesome.
That makes sense.
To have that kind of freedom to know that there's nothing that's going to really get you stuck.
Yeah, I like that. That sounds pretty awesome.
So yeah, so the Blizzaks, amazing. The Blizzak WS80s, they're new. Unfortunately, Mini, we kind of started late on it, and so I ended up getting the non-run flat variety, which, as you guys know, suddenly my ride is better.
Oh, yeah.
There's less weight.
Uh-huh.
My turn-in sharper. Everything's better. But of course, snow tires or winter tires, as they're known as, don't have the same bite and dry. There's a sponginess to them at times. There's a little give to them. It's also kind of fun in a way because they're not perfect. But
you know what Blizzaks are also really good in, Gabe? Is they're really good in just the wet. If it's not cold enough to be icy or anything, they're fantastic in the wet. In cold wet, and I'm talking 40, 50 degree rain.
Nice.
They are phenomenal. Yeah. I've known that because I've been driving on Blizzaks on Minis now for 5 years. I've had Blizzaks on Minis in winter for 5 years, and I swear by them as a winter tire. I really do.
And Blizzaks weren't always like that. I had Blizzaks in the first pair of Blizzaks I got was maybe in 2000, and they were not if you didn't have snow, it was a dry pavement, even if it was 40, 30 degrees, they did not inspire confidence.
Because they're really hard on there, but they're not so hard anymore. They're much better now.
They're so much better than they used to be.
Yep.
So and I would say that goes for the Dunlop Durezas. There's the Pirelli has their version of this. There's lots of winter tires out there. So the Bridgestones are great. There are others that you can look up the data on Tire Rack that are almost as great, if not equal to them. Maybe there's one I'm missing that's better. I'd love to hear it in the comments. But the key point from my perspective to the listeners is if you live in an area where you see snow, get snow tires, get winter tires. If you don't want to spend the money on wheels, just get some steel wheels if you can, or get something cheap off Craigslist or whatever. But you're going to be so much safer.
I think you can get Steelies to fit most minis. Well, at least the R50, the 4-lug minis. You can get those Steelies at the junkyard like $100 for a whole set.
Here's the issue.
I saw guys R50 the other day with the original hubcapped wheels.
Nice.
Really?
You could barely even get them in the United States.
I don't think I've ever seen them.
The very first Cooper. That was it.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. I've seen them.
Well, can I say one thing is that you can't get the one problem you have if you have a Mini is if you have a JCW, because the brakes, there are very few wheels that fit over the brakes. And if you have an F56, the newest Mini JCW, and you not only have that, but you have the coilover suspension, you're screwed on one other level because the most wheels and tires run into the struts and springs, that come down those coilovers. So you have to have clearance. And so
it's a good thing that you just have a garage full of Mini JCW wheels. Then
that's exactly what I have.
There you go.
Like $97,000 of JCW wheels in my garage. Gonna have a garage sale in the spring.
Okay.
But anyway, so that's the one issue is that you got to spend some money if you have a JCW to put winter, or you got to swap out the tires on the existing wheels, which is not great on tires to swap them out over and over again.
No, it's not. That's one thing. I didn't mention that as an option because I think it's a bad idea just in general.
Right. It's not the best idea, but if it's your only option, it's better to do that than have nothing.
Right. All right. Let's move on. Okay, so we have a lot of news that's happened over at motoringfile.com. And so we've got the LCI. So we've got the changes from the LCI. We've got Mini going to be at the North American International Auto Show in Detroit.
No, Mini's not going to be there, but
they will.
BMW is going to be there, and they're bringing some Minis.
Oh,
no, yeah, go. Well, that's what Mini is. That's what they call Mini being there now.
We've got some Dakar stuff.
There's an official logo up.
We have sales, and the Dakar Mini I think looks weird. And we have Mini Takes the States. Let's start with Mini Takes the States. Just because that one's short and simple. And I'm actually kind of excited for this because I'm working on trying to actually go. So Mini Takes States, we already knew when the date was. It's going to be, I have to pull it back open again. So the big deal is that they've actually announced the route. It's going to be a meet in the middle again, which we did once before in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
So we did a meet in the middle in 2010. It was in Denver, Colorado. Except it did not start in Portland. It started in San Diego, and the other end started in New Jersey or something. I forgot where. This one, it's starting in Orlando, Florida, and also starting in Portland, Oregon. So you people in Florida and Oregon can finally shut up about not getting to be included in Mini Takes the States because they got you covered here. And then
I gotta be honest with you. If I could pick one state
to avoid,
to go to, actually be a part of, it would be Oregon.
Well, we'll see. There you go. That'll probably be an epic drive down the coast, Gabe, if I had to guess.
That'd be incredible.
Yeah, but I've done that drive a zillion times before, so I don't care.
Yeah. It's great.
I'm actually thinking of going the other way. I was actually working with Scotty, and we're going to do a little bit of planning. But we are probably going to start in New Orleans and go over. Anyway, that's the route. The route is from Florida into Keystone, Colorado, by way of Dodge City, Kansas, and then also from
help us all.
I hear they've got really good street tacos there. And then the kids on the West Coast will be starting in Portland, and they'll also be coming into Keystone, Colorado, by way of Durango, Colorado. And there's nothing in Durango, but it is at the end of the $1 Million Highway. So you guys get to do that, which will be just amazing.
You know what's really exciting? Am I wrong that they're going through Dodge City?
Oh yeah, Dodge City.
Yep.
Oklahoma City, Dallas, Little Rock.
Well, those are all great, but Dodge City?
Yeah.
Do you guys remember going through Dodge City?
I wasn't on that side. I was on the other side.
That's right.
We drank the hotel out of gin, and we
was it, Todd.
Yes.
we ate the tacos out of street tacos.
Yes.
Yes. And we took the Dodge out of Dodge City when we left.
Nice.
Or no, it was a ticket to city out of the Dodge. I don't know.
We hijacked their the shuttle bus that was taking us between the hotel and the evening event, and we hijacked peacefully. We asked, we're like, "Hey, is there good street tacos any around here?" And we were literally, your friend Matt was joking. He was not serious at all.
He wasn't that joking.
He was probably drunk. But we're in Dodge City, Kansas. Where is there going to be street tacos? And the driver went, "All right, you guys got a few minutes?" And we're like, "Sure." So a bunch of turns later, we pull up into literally a gravel parking lot and a street taco truck. And they were fantastic.
No, it was great. And we drove out of there, and I will tell you that most people would look at this this drive from Dodge City to Denver as like, well, that's at least I'm not on that leg. I had a JCW convertible top down.
That's some awesome roads right there.
No,
they were
not.
straight. The roads weren't awesome. I would say they're straight, but the country was wide open and beautiful, and the weather was perfect, and it was just absolutely a memorable drive, top down through that country.
I'm just going to say this: I've lived in Kansas my entire life, and the drive from this is only cutting across the very western part of Kansas, Dodge City, to eastern Colorado. But pretty much the drive from Topeka, Kansas to Denver is commonly considered the asshole of America. Because it is such a boring drive.
You've been to India.
Well, so Todd, I don't know if we didn't take the highway though.
No, we took a lot.
We were on back roads the whole way, which to me, like back roads anywhere is interesting. In that area too, especially because it's so insanely remote. And and why in God's name would anybody be on those back roads? It's like you can't get any farther removed from a sort of a population center.
Right.
I thought it was fun. Dodge City was just a weird town that was kind of fun.
Okay. Gabe, it's time to stop being an old guy. We're not going to reminisce anymore. We have to move forward. Okay.
No,
so
what I'm saying is go to Dodge City.
Go to Dodge City.
July 20th, 19th, 20th.
There you go.
I'm looking ahead.
And there's a couple of things here that I don't know if you guys have actually gone through and read all the details, and I'm sure you have. Many takes the states if you want to participate and get the swag bags, I'm thinking, and the breakfast burritos, it's going to cost you $1.25. That's right, $125 to participate and to get all the stuff that says you participated. Otherwise, I would imagine you could just drive along. There will be no nighttime events. And so far, there's also not even any hotel, recommended hotels, but I imagine that list will be coming soon.
There will be. And so the nighttime events, I think there's going to be suggested things.
Yeah.
So they're gonna kind of create events, but they're not going to do big giant things.
Yeah.
But guys, what do you think about this? Because I hear that, and I don't care. Like for me, like being with my friends and meeting new friends, I wouldn't need anything beyond that.
No, I'm torn for where I want to drive from. Do I want to do the Portland run, or do I want to come from the East Coast? So
I know I'd be torn if I were you also, because I think the West Coast looks cool. I wish they were going through Vegas.
West Coast looks awesome.
The West Coast to go through Vegas, that's an easy That's an easy fix.
Yeah.
That's an easy fix.
Just drive through Vegas.
Why would you want to go to July in Florida?
Yeah, no thanks. I've been to July in Florida, or Florida in July. No,
Florida in July. Sorry, that's
my
bad.
I mean, Arizona. We're driving.
Well, why would you want to go to Florida?
Yeah, but but we're driving. The route's going from L.A. to Flag, and that's right through the middle of the Mojave Desert, and it's going to be hot as balls. So
but that's going to be cool because it's a desert.
Yeah, and it will be cooler once you get up to Flagstaff, which is nice.
I mean, look, it's not even Florida. Look where they go after that.
Tallahassee,
Mississippi, Alabama. Like you're talking about the
Arkansas
coast, man. It's Arkansas, isn't it?
Or as they like to call it, Arkansas.
I don't know what to tell you. All I know is
we better stop now and move on. But I think the lack of evening events is fine, because I got to say in 2016, last time I went, we probably only did a couple of the evening events.
Yeah,
mainly because
I think
like
that just leaves some opportunity for us to make our own evening events.
Exactly. There's plenty to do with people and hang out and explore the towns and
try not to get in jail.
So I think it'll be fine.
Okay.
Cool. No, I think it looks awesome. I know. I mean, listen, Mini has had, from a sales perspective, they have not had the best couple of years.
Yeah.
The fact that they're doing MTTS,
I'm actually shocked that they're actually.
Let's just say it. Let's just say it.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I'm really glad they are, and I could understand if they would have said they weren't.
Yeah.
And it would have sucked. But to me, this speaks of the of really the people who run Mini USA. Like they're sort of like, I don't know, like I think they really care about owners. They really truly do, and they really care about the brand. And it's not just lip service. They want to create something that people really enjoy, and they want to be a part of that ownership process themselves. And so they're committed to that. And I think that's pretty interesting. Not a lot of brands do that.
But here's the thing that I think is the unanswered question. I think it's going to be a success this year, but I'm not sure they're going to get the public numbers they gave from 2016 was 4,000 plus people participated in the event, coast to coast. At some points, there were that many people. If they don't get that people, I'm just wondering.
2014 was the big one. That was one that was out of control. Right?
2014 was pretty insane too.
Yeah, 2014 was insane. That was one that was like 400, 500, 600 people at every stop. I don't think the number's going to be like that.
I've just heard a lot of people who've been to Mini Takes the States so far who have already said no for whatever reason, and this doesn't mean that they don't like minis anymore, but for whatever reason they're not going this year.
Right.
They're like, a lot of things, logistics, blah, blah,
there's
blah.
There's a lot of good events. I mean, Southwest Mini Fest is right there. Minis on Top is right there. There's a lot of stuff happening this year.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening, and it's pretty expensive. And you got to think that there's a big percentage of people, Gabe, in the Chicago to New York kind of area and East Coast that it's not going to be convenient.
Yeah.
It's not convenient at all for those people.
Yeah, no, it's true. In fact, that was my first thought is like they are doing this and they know they're actually cutting out a giant percentage of the country because of it. And in a way, like I think they're saying, listen, we're paying our dues here a little bit. We're trying to give some folks who haven't had a chance. Florida, who I talk shit about Florida. I'm joking, guys.
Florida had a chance in 2008.
Florida, I can say the number one dealer. The number one dealer
up
in the United States is in Miami, Florida, guys.
Well, right. I just, but from a population standpoint, you're missing a good chunk of the country, and
sure.
And I think they're saying, listen, it's fine. We again, we're committed to our owners. We want to go places where we sell cars and our owners are, and we want to mix it up. And if that means that 2018 is less than 16 or less than 14, then so be it.
Yeah.
Right.
It looks very similar to the 2010 route, if I'm honest. And I remember 2010, there wasn't a huge contingent of people. Right? I mean, you guys were on the
isn't that the best? We were. I mean,
it was perfect
because
you guys
the early ones.
Yeah, we got. I mean, it was awesome, and I'm hoping this one's maybe kind of like that as well. A little bit more low key.
I'm raising my hand. I've been on every Mini Takes the State since 2006.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Every one, and this year I am. I'm not sure. It's just that the timing is going to be tough this year.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I really want to try.
Yeah. Well, not only the timing, but I got to say this to you, not to be a downer on it, but man, sales for me have been in the tank also because I go. A lot of my business is related to mini sales. I work on new mini cars, and I work on about 50 to 60% of the cars that go through our local dealer. And when their sales are down where they are, which is really not a ton, I think that our local dealer sales have been down less than anywhere else in the country. I mean, we're within 5% of the last 2 years, but the last 2 years have been pretty bad compared to, say, 2014, 2013, which were phenomenal years. Mm-hmm. So for me, the whole point, to kind of segue in it a little bit, is that things have been a little slow, and I don't know if I necessarily want to spend, any money going to take part in this, but we'll see. I mean, I got 7 months.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I think that's. I'm sure a lot of folks are looking at this too. I mean, how a lot of folks decide to go on MTTS is they say, hey, I'm going to take, or my wife and I are going to take our week of vacation that we were going to take in, this summer, or we're with the kids, we're going to go, and we're just going to do a road trip.
Right.
Yep. And I think a lot of people have done that, and now they've done it 3 and 4 times. They've done it 5 times total. Is that right now? 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 6 times. Mm-hmm. This will be the 7th one. And people who've done this multiple times, I think they've kind of finally gotten to the point and they're like, okay, I've done that. I'm tired. I love the brand. Maybe I'll make a couple of stops, but no way until am I doing the whole thing. Now, this is actually half the distance it is anyway from either way. It's a week long. It normally is 2 weeks. For the last 2 or 3 events, and now they've cut it down to a week. And this kind of goes to what you were saying, Gabe. Mini doesn't have as much money as they did. The sales haven't been as good. Clearly, they don't have as much profit to work with as they've had in years past. We get that. We totally understand. It's being frugal. Don't make a bad decision. And so we see the things. They've cut the length of the event and I don't want to say the amenities necessarily, but yeah, kind of. If they're not doing.
Yeah, I'd be curious to know what people think about that, because again, my perspective is, it's fine with me. I'd rather make my own plans with friends, and we have all day driving to figure out where we want to go when we get there, and just kind of explore on our own.
Here's the thing that I've been kind of paying attention to what people are saying over on forums and whatnot, and the that blue thing that starts with an F.
I hate that blue thing.
I hate the blue thing.
I know. But anyway, what people are saying is, and here's the issue, I think, Gabe. People who've never been on Mini Takes the Stage, they've been hearing about it for years. They've heard about 6 of these events that have all been the same, where there's like a great morning thing where you get together and everybody rallies up and leaves at the same time, and they go to a city and you get there and there's a big evening event, like a barbecue or a big country music show or whatever it is, and everybody's invited, and you go and have a big party, and then you get up in the morning and you do it the next day.
Rinse, repeat,
A lot of people were looking forward to that who've never done it before. They've heard all about it, and they're like, I can't wait. And now they're going, wait a minute, we're getting screwed. We never got to take part in this. And I think those are the people who are a little hurt over it, of thinking, I never got to experience that.
And if that's
can I offer?
If that's you, I'm going to before Gabe offers is you just have to make it your own. You just have to do it yourself.
Exactly.
So essentially, in 2014, which was the last one that I did, we were on tour. Right, it was hectic. I mean, it was nonstop, all go, no quit, from dusk till dawn, and it was awesome. Was that 2014? It was the last one that Jim did. Was that 2012? No, it was 2014. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, it was awesome. We had a great time. If you want to experience that yourself, simple. All you have to do is wake up at dawn, go out to the meetup place, look at cars, chat, drive all day, and then stay up till 1 o'clock in the morning, rinse, repeat. Boom.
Well, and I will say this, Stevie, just to go the stuff. I think that to your point earlier, like this is MTTS 2018. If somebody wants to try to make it their own, or if somebody wants to do something new, or if somebody wants just to come in and be a part of 2018 and maybe even 2020 just do it. Just come in and set the trend and create, new experiences and, rally 4 or 5 people to do this thing. And that thing then becomes a thing that 13, 14 other people join in on. I think that if there's not a planned event, it actually allows people to create something that's sort of grassroots and potentially able to grow into something bigger.
Indeed. I agree 100%.
Yeah, there we go.
That'll be awesome. So again, Mini Takes the States happening July 14th through July 22nd, starting in Orlando, Florida from the east and Portland, Oregon from the west. Register over at MiniTakesStates.com. Is that the website? It's MiniTakesStates.com. It is MiniTakesStates.com. Get yourself registered if you're going to go, and hopefully we'll see you on the road. And for those of you who are looking for something a little bit more low-key, a little bit more West Coast, a little bit more San Diego, save the date for Southwest Minifest, which has moved to San Diego, California this year, happening May 10th through the 13th, and that's at swminifest.com. I'll make sure there's a link to both of these in the show notes. Southwest Mini Fest is this year's AMVIV, just so you guys are wondering what the hell that is. They switch.
Really?
Yeah, so we switch off between Arizona and Nevada, and now California's getting into it. So STMM says, hey, we want a shot at the Southwest Mini Fest thing. So Eurotech said, yeah, sure.
Cool.
You guys do it. So no AMVIV this year. It's Southwest Mini Fest year, which is going to be in San Diego. Then next year, AMVIV will be back in Vegas, of course.
I need a 15-second break to reload my beer. Do we still do that?
Yeah,
I can reload my drink too, but I need more than 15 seconds.
Go right ahead, fellas, while you guys are getting new drinks, and I'm making you get it because, oh my God, Gabe decided to rub his microphone across his entire body. I'll tell you guys about CravenSpeed.com. CravenSpeed, one of the other fine OG sponsors here underneath the white roof. They've been with us forever. We love these guys. You love these guys. They have really cool stuff for your Mini. They have really cool stuff for other cars that aren't Minis as well. I want you to make sure if you're at CravenSpeed and you don't have a Mini, well, then hit the Browse Buying Make button. And then look for the other make of car that you're looking for and see what they've got. Oh, good grief. I thought I gave you a good microphone.
What's going on?
Nothing. I'm doing a Craven Speed ad. Anyway, they got stuff for cars from Audi to Volvo. Go over there, check it out. Of course, if you are looking for something for your Mini, that's what one of their specialties, Minis, Miatas, other cars like that. The Platypus mount, awesome. Anything to hold your cell phone in your car. If you're in a state where that is now illegal, Craven Speed's going to get you taken care of. They got one of the best mounts.
About Craven Speed?
Yeah. They've got one of the best.
Craven Speed's awesome.
They've got one of the best mounts you can get. If you've got an R56 with a manual transmission, you got to get the short shift kit. I'm just saying.
The short shift is you owe it to yourself to have that.
It is so good.
And I will say this in all seriousness.
If you have an R56 Cooper with a manual transmission, you have to get the short shift from Craven. You just have to.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Go ahead,
it's an easy little thing. I will say this: the articulation on that cell phone mount is legit.
It really is.
In fact, I'm going to do this to it. Cheers.
Nice. Anyway, that plus a whole bunch more over at Craven Speed, cravenspeed.com. Don't forget, if you do place an order at cravenspeed.com, make sure you mention White Roof Radio in the comment on the order form. We really appreciate that. So do they. They, of course, being our friends over at cravenspeed.com.
You know, what's interesting to me as I crack my LaCroix open.
I thought you said you were getting a beer. Damn hipster.
It's a joke.
I like LaCroix.
So
I was drinking LaCroix before it was cool.
Started this because it's old school. It's old school.
Mm-hmm.
January here.
Yeah.
When you guys started this, and I eventually found my way into it somehow. We would always. It was Thursday nights. Was it Thursday nights?
Thursday nights.
Yeah. And it was taken very seriously, and by seriously I mean
very drunkenly.
We drank a lot of drinks.
Yes.
We dropped F-bombs, but
yes.
we were figuring the formula out. And it was very. We were very diligent. DB, you were very diligent. I wasn't. I was just sitting around talking nonsense. But it's funny. I like this full circle right now.
Yeah, it's always nice when it seems to work out. Like once a year, we get to do an old school episode where it's just the three of us. Not that we don't love Chad or Brian, of course, but every now and again, it's nice to bring us back to our roots.
Well, and as I told Brian earlier today, listen, Brian, I know you're out. I will carry. I have enough mustache for both of us tonight.
Brian's actually working on he's actually doing some employment stuff that's going to benefit the bicycle podcast, Ride Bikes Radio. If you guys are looking for another podcast to listen to, made under the white roof, check out ridebikesradio.com if you please. Available where finer podcasts are found.
Breaking news, guys.
Breaking news. What?
My JCW Clubman, the car that I think outside of the Roadster has been my favorite Mini I've ever had.
The car that you love almost more than life itself.
No. It's I've got two other cars I like more. Actually,
I know. That's true.
In fact, every car that I'm not selling right now, I like more.
So Gabe, let me get straight. So the Clubman is actually pulling up the number 3 spot in your stable out of 4. Well, I know what 2 of those 4 are. I don't know what the third is. So
the third is
I'm
my
guessing
old winter beater, which, by the way, is for sale because I don't drive it anymore. It sits, and I have to drive it every couple of weeks just to keep it going.
I'm guessing I'm
beautiful, low mileage, 1998 BMW 328 with every option except for an automatic because it's a manual.
Oh, nice.
It could be yours
for the princely sum of. We'll not talk about that.
$4,000.
There you go.
$4,000.
I'll give you $800.
Add. I'll give it to you, Todd. I would give it to you for you give me another $3,200. I will give it to you.
I'll go to 9. I'll go to 900. That's my plan.
31 is the difference then. So we can talk about graphics maybe. That's a
so
no.
Just really quick, just because I've got this on my brain, Gabe. I'm trying to figure out. The number one in your stable, then would that be the M1 by chance, or would it be the 2002?
Yes,
the 1M. I mean,
it is. It's the 1M, which, by the way, I need to put it on a battery tender. It's probably gonna have to have a new battery
because that is a glorious automobile.
Get a good battery tender, not a cheap one. Get the.
I've got one. I've got a BMW one. It's just I deliberately haven't put it on.
Okay.
Gonna regret it.
I know.
I have to put. Speaking of batteries, I have to put a battery in the Roadster, and I have to do that this weekend. I'm not looking forward. This will be my first R50X car battery I've replaced.
Where's that? Sorry, this is a stupid question.
No,
you don't.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you do.
No.
I put a battery in new BMWs.
Yeah, but not the R56. The R56, if you don't, and I'm going to say the technical reason why. If you don't take it to the dealer, what happens is the Mini is smart enough, the onboard computer is smart enough to know when the battery is aging, and it charges it more with the alternator. And so it actually sends different amount of charge to it. And if you basically, it's learned that your battery is failing. Okay.
But doesn't it learn when you have a new battery, though?
No.
So you have to take it to the dealer for a reset? Are you kidding me?
So what happens is if you don't take it to the dealer and get it programmed for a new battery, you can blow out a new battery pretty quickly.
Are you fucking kidding me? Good.
No,
grief.
I am absolutely. We just put a new battery in the Roadster,
and so then you had to make an appointment at the dealer to get them to reset the battery. Essentially,
yeah. How much was that? An hour, or was it 30 minutes?
I don't know. The whole charge for a battery for me was like $150, $100.
Well, but you get employee pricing.
For most people, though, that sucks.
Yeah, I have to pay $167 just for the battery, and that's not even from the dealer.
Where are you buying your battery?
I don't know, O'Reilly.
Just go to the dealer. Just go to the dealer and get your best deal. Here's the thing, DB. They're offering a $30 rebate right now directly from Mini if you buy it at the dealer.
I'll call them and get a price and get them to quote a price for me. But they're going to want.
Are they?
I will say that sucks.
It's going to be $300, and I don't want to spend $300.
I think, man.
I'm not going to spend $300 on a battery, and if I have to pay.
You
buy a battery and then pay for an hour of labor for them to go in and flip a bit, I'm going to be pretty angry about that.
Yeah,
I will be angry. In fact, I'm going to be angry for you. That is Bush League.
That's total crap.
We should write something about that on Motoring File because
I will keep you posted if that actually happens.
Because that's bullshit.
That's total crap.
Of the R56 generation cars are like that. The R53s were not. You can change the batteries in those without a problem.
Right.
And I finally, because I was with you guys, I thought it was complete BS. And after doing some reading and research, and I finally asked the tech, I'm like, well, why do you have to tell the car it's got a new battery? And they explained it to me, and it makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
sure.
The car learns, and basically the car has to be told, I put a new battery in there, because what it does is it's adaptive learning.
So why isn't that in the UI of Mini Connected then?
That's a very good question.
All right,
well,
really quickly before we get into that, number one is the BMW 1M, which I love, and number two is the BMW 2002.
Right, that's what I thought.
A very old car,
vintage.
Very old, very vintage,
very vintage, very hipster.
But my point is,
Gabe,
news.
Do you drive the 2002 around when you're looking for the artisanal bread shops?
Tweed. You have to be wearing some sort of tweed or wool jacket.
Or a wool cap.
And a pipe.
No, you guys are
have a pipe.
It's a hipster vehicle. I know you love to hate the hipster.
No, I love the 2002. That's a great.
I get the majority of thumbs up or like people who like react to it are like male like male and female hipsters,
Yeah.
and BMW people. That's who loves that car.
Yeah, I'd almost rather have a Datsun 510 though, but that's a conversation for another day.
Oh my god! Look at you.
Anyway,
you
Gabe,
ever see the steel gauge on that car? Hey, anyway,
I like the 510. The 510's cool, but anyway, move on.
The 510. It was designed after the 2002.
I know, that's why it's cool.
My whole point is I was giving you a news flash. There's breaking news.
Breaking news. Oh,
There's breaking news. I don't know if there's a news like a breaking news song.
No.
There's
there
like
might be.
I'm sure Todd has something.
But yeah, but Todd doesn't edit anymore. I do, so I don't bother.
It's like a telegraph thing, right? Anyway, point is, my JCW Clubman, which I love dearly,
yes,
will most likely be going away this spring, and it will be replaced. It's looking like it will be replaced by another Mini, and not a Cadillac Cimarron as we had all wanted.
I'm hoping you get a black JCW R59 again. Maybe even the same car.
I would love that, actually.
Just somehow just turns up.
But it's likely going to happen.
No,
and
I
this
know.
is, you're hearing it first, what's likely going to happen.
Oh, this is good
and I've actually asked if this is possible, is I would like to, in 2018, we all know what the most popular Mini is going to be. I would like to spend a year in that car.
The electric Countryman?
No. Just, I mean, well, the Countryman in general.
Yeah, okay.
It's not the electric, they can't make enough of, but
right.
The Countryman in general. So I'll be moving to a vehicle that is the same size as my Clubman, but taller.
Yeah.
Or regal, if you will.
Sure.
Heavier.
We can go with, heavier. Yeah.
But with better...
some might say slightly more attractive.
Oh, I don't know about
slightly
that.
more attractive.
Less
I'm not one that would say that. Not me, but I know there are some people out there that still don't that don't appreciate the look of the Clubman.
I like that.
I'm not one of those people. I
I
like the Clubman. I think it's nice.
I don't think it's as attractive as the Clubman, but it's got this like very functional look to it, which I like. Especially, and if Alex were here, he would say this too.
Yes.
With the off-road bumper package. Love that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's my breaking news.
Okay, so new company car. We're keeping all the things crossed that the company car is going to actually be a new Countryman.
Yes.
Awesome. That'll be amazeballs. Okay, let's continue on. Let's cover some more news. So, did we talk about LCI? Did we glaze over that?
Oh, we did.
This
is let's be honest.
This is the big news of the week.
There's a new car that happens every 7 years.
Yep. And then a new issue.
LCI.
And then there's the LCI.
This is our moment. This is the podcast where we talk about that other thing.
Yes.
That happens basically every 7 years.
Uh-huh.
LCI is a term that the Germans use, and it's life cycle impulse. Don't ask me why. I don't know what it really means.
Is with a knife and a fork.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. Well, they eat sandwiches with a knife and a fork. That's true. But that's what it is. We would always call it a refresh or mid-cycle refresh or something like that. But now LCI, that term has taken over the world, so we're just going to use it. So an LCI is something that BMW does for their brands halfway through a model cycle to quite literally refresh that model. Typically, it includes visual updates, bumpers and headlights and wheels and colors and interior trim and interior color. In this LCI, that's just the styling. Also, in some of their LCIs, it includes engine updates, which is really huge. In other LCIs, it actually includes suspension updates and other different things that they deem important.
Or body.
What's that?
Or body updates.
Never. There's no body and white updates.
Well, not body, but like trim features. I mean,
that's what I said. Bumpers.
There you go. Bumpers and headlights.
So in this LCI, Mini didn't change much. It's the lightest refresh that I think any of us have ever seen.
So but basically, when you say didn't change much, they changed 0 things mechanically about the car.
They changed for March 2018, and they're officially calling that the LCI. They changed 0 things in the United States. Mechanically. And I'll let that stand. What's interesting, though, is what I'm not talking about. And what is ultimately coming. And if you've read Motor File, you know about it. There will be engine updates. They did not make it in time. There will be a DCT DCT transmission offered in the United States on the Cooper and Cooper S. It's not ready yet.
But it's going to be ready in the rest of the world, right?
It will be ready in the rest of the world. Correct. Yes.
For
most of the rest of the world, not all of every market gets it at different times. So
and the different cars, it's only getting
Australia. Our friends in Australia, they have their own time frame. Our friends in China have their own time frame. Europe and UK, I believe, are getting it.
But they're getting it only in like the diesel and some certain models. It's not going to be available.
I have to go back and look, but I believe they're getting it in other models as well.
Okay.
So I think it's the Cooper S, if I recall. If not, if I'm wrong,
somebody else.
Yeah, somebody will tell me I'm terrible. But the point is that what I find interesting about this, there's lots of things to talk about with this. What I find interesting about this is, number one, the production complexities that BMW Mini are facing now that the Mini is a car that is mechanically similar to BMWs and it's produced all over the world. Mm-hmm. Mini is produced in only 2 plants, but its sister cars are also produced in Germany, and there's a lot of complexities. Clearly, there's a lot of complexities because BMW hasn't been able to sort of hold tight and release the entire LCI in one fell swoop. They have a lot of these sort of stepped upgrades that they're looking at having for the next year. So with the United States, for instance, you can walk into Mini dealers March 24th and see the refreshed car, but it will not be the same refreshed car with revised engines, etc., that you'd see in Europe.
It's basically going to have headlights and taillights.
But it will be eventually.
Yeah.
So eventually, probably with July production or outside chance here, could be in the fall, we will get updated engines with a little bit more horsepower.
A little bit more horsepower, a little bit more efficiency.
4% more.
Right, and a little bit more
Yep, and DCT transmissions replacing the automatics. Probably July production, maybe the fall.
But because I still have issues with my automatic transmission in my car. But continue, Gabe.
My issue is you have an automatic transmission, but that's another.
That's a whole nother episode of the show.
But no, in all seriousness, what I find interesting, and I want to come back to this because I want to say positive things first, is why didn't Mini, for the first time ever, not change the styling, the bumpers on the car? We know that the metal bits are expensive to change,
right?
So not going to change that.
Well, they don't normally
refresh.
They don't normally make exterior modifications to the car at the LCI.
Sometimes they've done bumper changes. Yeah,
they always do. There's always trim changes.
Yep.
So they always do.
But
they could be minor.
Yeah, they don't make changes to the sheet metal though. Just like the bumper stuff.
No. Yep, correct.
And sometimes it's just the grill. Sometimes it's like the black mesh grill changes. Sometimes, like in the Countryman, they added the silver bar that went across the middle.
Yeah, the Countryman was like super light.
Right.
And so it's interesting to me because what BMW has done is they have spent an enormous amount of money. They've invested enormous sums on autonomous driving and electrification on really only 2 cars, but cars that are going to be coming. And you can see, if you look across, as I do, with Bimmerfile and Motoring File, across all their products, their LCIs, their refreshes have become very minor. They have become really subtle stuff. And you can see where they're very carefully, where they invest the money in a bumper, for instance, is only on cars that sell a lot, like a 5 Series or a 3 Series, which sells dramatically more than a Mini.
Right.
And so it's interesting because they basically said, listen, Mini, we love them, but this is how much they sell a year. This is how much they're going to sell over the next 3 years. This is what we think not having a new front bumper and rear bumper styling is going to do. It's going to reduce. I guarantee you they have quantified.
Oh, absolutely, because
what the sales impact is for not having a new front rear bumper, and they said, okay, that's not a big deal. Let's do it.
Well, the reality is, Gabe, is that in the entire world, if you just look at it as like a global sales force, they're up. Their sales are up, and they're doing fine. So they don't really need to correct anything. Those of us in the United States are just banging our heads against the wall going, we hate the looks of the front end of this car. We hate the looks of the front ends of this car.
And let's back up for a second, because I think that there's something to be said about that. the Cooper S is challenging. The Cooper I love personally. The JCW is solid. I like it. But the Cooper S is challenging. The car that sells the most is the Cooper S, right?
Yes.
I think it's going to be eclipsed by the JCW soon.
So I think that it's uneven. And I'm really surprised, to be frank with you, that they didn't change the Cooper S.
Yeah.
I mean, just that car. They could have left the others alone.
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised also. And considering also that the design language of, say, the new Countryman, when it came out, I think we all looked at that and went, okay, that car does not share the same front end characteristics of both the hardtop, the four-door, the convertible, and the Clubman. They all have that giant bumper and the big mouth and the grill around it. Okay,
I would argue the Clubman looks quite a bit different, and it's been out for years. I mean, its look is much more.
No, but yeah, well, the bumper is better on the Clubman. I'll give you that. However, what I'm talking about, the thing people complain about, is the giant open goldfish mouth, and I'm just saying that's what people are calling it.
Yep.
This giant open largemouth bass look on the car.
You mean the thing that Minis had since 1959?
No.
No,
I'm talking the F56 has had, with the giant black pedestrian bumper in the front and the giant continuous chrome.
You mean
rim.
the reinterpretation of the giant Mini mouth?
Yes.
With the bumper in the middle. Well, the problem, of course, is because it's bulbous and the thing sticks out because of pedestrian impact standards, which I didn't curse Stevie. I really wanted to.
Thanks, Gabe.
The effing, we can say that.
Yes, you can.
So I think that it's clearly that's going to change. I think what's interesting about this is that Mini has a new designer. The previous designer left. If I can read into this a little bit, I suspect he left at a time where there was nobody to fight for an LCI design change.
Yeah, I think you're probably right, Gabe. I think a lot of it has to do with that too.
And now we've got a new designer, who is his name is Oliver Helmer.
Mm-hmm.
None of us have met him before. He is from BMW. He's really interesting. I will say, if you read a little bit about him, and there's going to be something on Motoring File by the time this is posted live, an interview with him. He says the things that I think, if you're a Mini fan and you really understand automotive design and sort of, what Mini has done, you're going to like what he says.
Right.
But at the same time, so he talks about, for instance, function is really important to drive form. Function is really key. Everything should look like it's derived from function. And I think some of the things that we don't like about Minis often is it's bulbous, it's overstyled, like the worst bits of it. The things we love about Minis is it's clearly derived from function. It's a small car with maximum size inside, wheels at the corner, and you can look at it and be like, wow, that probably drives incredible.
And it does.
And it does.
It does. It absolutely does. But here's my point also, once again, and this is just to put the exclamation on what I've been saying for the last 4 years now, is that drivability, the fact that Mini is still one of the most fantastic cars I've ever driven in my life. Okay, it's one of the best driving cars you can buy for the money today in the U.S. market. The problem is that's not enough to sell it anymore. It used to be enough. It used to be kitschy and cute and different, and the drivability pushed it way over the edge. It's like, you got to have this car, and people were buying it in droves. And right now, that's the only thing that separates the car, and it's not enough.
Well, so do you think, because it's interesting, this interview with Oliver, some of the things he talks about is the need to really transition into different aspects of want, and so what is that? I mean, I think the problem is that there's a lot of people who still want that. There's a lot of people who want to be driven. There's a lot of people who want style, don't want anything else. There's a lot of people who want technology, don't want anything else.
And I think what Mini did, it's a different time, I understand, but let's look back to 2002, 2003. What Mini had was a package that nobody else had. Okay, They had style. It was kind of a retro style, but it was style. They had premium features that you couldn't get on a small car.
Speaking of tech, back in 2002, 2003 was the first car to come standard with a CD player. And the first car to come standard, I believe, with air conditioning.
Standard.
And power door locks.
Power door locks?
Wait,
I mean, dipping windows? I mean, that was...
You're talking about a small car?
Yeah, small car.
I think any car.
No.
Yes,
Standard with wait, what? Standard with a CD player.
In 2003, Gabe?
Standard with the CD player was like a Lexus in 1989.
No, I don't think so.
I don't know.
100%.
All right.
100%.
Anyway.
My 3 Series came standard with the CD player in 2000. 99.
No, I don't
Last
think so. I think you're smoking crack.
No, I'm not, because the tape deck was a no-cost option. I remember very vividly.
Okay.
All right,
so we'll go with small
deal.
car.
What it did
we'll
come
go with small
with,
car.
what was crazy was a giant sunroof.
Yes.
It was you could get navigation in a small car. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, there were things that were like, oh shit, that's really like. Sorry, I said that word.
That's all right.
No.
I mean, the president says
good.
it now, apparently. So I guess it's good.
Okay. Well, then we're all in.
Yeah.
So in all seriousness, though, I mean, but you're right, DB. Like there were some key differences, and that was one of the reasons why I wrote that opinion piece recently on Motoring File, which was, you know, for God's sake, guys, make the radar cruise cheap. Make it $500. Put it in a premium package.
Right.
Get it out there, because it's something that's actually interesting. Like there's other cars that offer it. Now nobody puts it in free. Nobody. I looked around. A lot of people are like, "Oh, it's free. It's like on these cars and that cars." No, it's not. Right. It's like $1,000. Everybody's offering it for $1,000.
Right.
Well, okay, great, Mini. Why don't you offer for $500? Why don't you actually become a brand that's known for technology? You have a little bit of technology. Mm-hmm. You have a little bit there, and you're doing great. I mean, I think the interface on the new touchscreen that I have in my Clubman, phenomenal.
That's great.
It's phenomenal in the automotive sense. It's horrible if it was on my phone.
But here's the problem,
Gabe, phenomenal in a car.
There's plenty of other car companies that come standard. Every car comes standard with the touchscreen, and
not like that. It's different. So there's as somebody who rents a lot of cars, the Mini system is dramatically better than most.
It is,
really,
but when you're
really
looking
is.
at
The
cars,
new one.
It's got a touchscreen. You're like, okay, I get that.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Here's the thing is, and I see people.
33% of people are idiots, but
I know. I say most of the people buying cars are idiots too, because they come in and they're looking at a Mini, and I swear to you, and I'm in the dealership and I hear this on a daily, almost daily, weekly basis.
Does it come as a convertible?
And there's people come in and they're like, "Oh, does it have lane departure warnings?" And you're like, "It's a freaking Mini. It's 10 feet long. If you can't tell there's somebody in your blind spot, you don't know how to set your mirrors." That's an easier problem to solve, is just go, you don't need it. Nobody needs lane departure warning. You need to pay attention to what you're doing. That's one thing. They finally, like now, backup cameras are standard on every Mini you buy. It doesn't matter. It's not an option. It just comes on the car.
Right.
So that's something that's great there. But I think you're right, Gabe. The emergency stop, the auto cruise control, which is kind of that driver's package now, which is available on a Mini. You can buy that.
And Mini has the only system. Gosh, I actually think it's the only system in the United States that actually works on a manual.
Really?
I mean, did you know that? Like,
no, I didn't know.
You can actually get it on a manual.
Yeah, the manual transmission. Because
I had no idea.
Right now, in 2014, Gabe, with the F56, basically they took the cruise control no longer is disengaged by putting the clutch in. Okay,
right.
On a manual.
Which, by the way, love that.
It's genius.
That.
You can downshift without changing the cruise control, and basically, pass somebody, downshift and pass, and then it'll go back to where you want.
That's brilliant.
But anyway, so that's a good point.
It's available on a manual, and I will say that it's not as effective as because I mean you can't with an auto, you can set it at like 8 miles an hour or 13. I can't remember the exact speed, and it'll go all the way up to 150 or 130, whatever your top speed is, and it'll go back down to 8. Whereas obviously a manual, it's only going to get until the revs hit a certain level, and it will disengage.
Yeah.
So you have, you know what I mean. So there's clearly some limits there. But I'll never forget when I talked to Minnie about this. I had a preview of the F56 before it was released, and one of the things that I spoke to the guys at Mini USA about was that system, and they said, we're really proud of this because I think they didn't say this. They were really humble about it, but it was clear they didn't have to do it. They did it because they really thought, and they asked me, I'm like, hey, so we had this new system, and it was really difficult to figure out, but we figured it out. We worked with a company to help us with some of the sensors, but we figured it out, and we're really excited about it. What do you think? Nobody else is doing this. And I was just like, man, this is crazy. That's awesome. I cannot believe you guys have done this, that you have a manual, radar-based cruise system. And they were so excited about it. And then other people priced it at $1,000, and nobody bought it. Nobody has it. I've never even driven that. I've literally never driven a Mini with it.
I've
never seen one.
In the time that it's been offered, I've seen one car come through that was ordered.
And so that's it. It's like, guys, there are people who work their asses off to make that possible, because they're looking at us, literally us on this podcast, us talking right now, and saying, we've got to give these folks this amazing technology that's very future forward, that it's really going to be convenient and fun to use. And then somebody else looked at the pricing, somebody else looked at the economics, and they're like, we got to price it at $1,000 and make it a standalone option, and you can only get it after like these 4 other options, which are also $1,000, right? And so that's a real issue.
It is. Here's a tough part about technology too, because I asked the question the other day. I had all the salespeople at my dealer standing around at the same time, and we were talking about CarPlay, for example. And I said, okay, have any of you in the last year and a half since Mini's announced this and made it available on the car? It's just about a year now. I said, has anybody come in and said, okay, I'm not going to buy this because I can't get CarPlay? And they said, no, absolutely not. So I think of something that is like the cutting edge technology, and it's not even that cutting edge anymore. CarPlay's been available for years. It's not something that it's not a deal breaker for Mini. So what's really difficult about this, Gabe, is I think coming together with the perfect package for the United States that is a perfect package of features that are available, and not just available, but ones that dealers have there on hand that make it a desirable, like, okay, it's worth spending the money for this. Okay, this car's going to cost me $40,000, or let's just say it's going to cost me $38,000 for a Mini Cooper, but it's got the right package. Where
hopefully Mini Cooper S.
Right. Yeah. It's although I've seen plus $40,000 Coopers before. I'm not kidding, with every option, including leather and the driver's package, everything. But let's say coming up with that where people are like, okay, I'd rather buy this, or no, I'm just going to go buy a Hyundai because it's $6,000 less, and it has as many features or more for that, and a lot of them are standard. And they go out the door and they go buy a Hyundai, or they go buy a Honda, or they go buy, whatever it is, even if it's the same price, something about the package together does not fit like it did in the early 2000s.
Well, yeah, and so I don't want to get too far into this because I want to get back to the LCI, but I think that there are some things that have changed in buyers' minds. Maybe a percentage, or maybe gas prices, or maybe the moon is in a different angle. I don't know, but the point is the question I have is, has Mini with this LCI in March 24th, when I walk in and I see a different looking car, will that strike somebody differently? Will the changes?
I like the taillights; those are cool.
Will the changes make somebody emotionally charged enough to say, I will spend a little bit more money on this small car versus that small car?
I think I'm going to have to start taking the Cooper and Cooper S badges off the back and making them say F-150, and then people will start buying those. That's the solution for the U.S.
Well, okay, so let's talk about the lights real quick. Let's talk about what's changed. Can we just say really quick, I think they're a nice change. I actually like them.
I think the lights are cool. I don't like that the backup light is below it, so it's throwing the whole thing off center, which affects my OCD a little bit. But otherwise, I think they're nice.
I like it, and I love the ring around the front. I love the fact that Mini has integrated the turn signal into the ring, and so when it blinks, yeah, exactly. The daytime running light doesn't go dim, and some of their tiny little turn signal turns on. There's somebody on MotoringStripes was like, "Oh, it's going to be black when the light." No, it blinks yellow. You'll never even notice.
The thing changes to yellow. The entire ring changes to yellow.
It's there's people who aren't mentally nimble enough, I think, to understand that. But
they're ruining the brand, man.
Yeah. Point is though, I think they did a really good job. It absolutely sucks that we are not getting the new LED headlights. Yeah. The new headlights with the auto dip. It really sucks, and I think that's down. We've got some really old school weird laws governing our headlights. Mm-hmm. The amount of lobbying BMW had to do to get laser lights on the i8 available, and then ultimately the 7 Series actually like legal in the United States was intense, was insane. And I think that, I mean, I know BMW is really frustrated about it, and I suspect that there could be, because these are interactive headlights, there could be something there. Well, and it's a weird old law that is been sticking around and bothering automakers for a long time.
Well, luckily technology's changed to the point where you don't really see headlight washers anymore, because they used to be required by law on xenon headlights. Because
I remember that.
Why? But I want them because my headlights are nasty and dirty.
Yeah, they do get dirty. But the thing
I hate the fact that I don't have headlight washers anymore.
Yep, but it's not required by law anymore, so there's no reason for car companies to add it. It's now going to be more of a luxury feature, and even at that, it's unnecessary. Like, just keep your car clean.
Well, I mean, you say that, but when you're driving for 3 hours, you know.
Yeah. Well, hey, what about what about these? The one thing we haven't touched on, and then we probably need to wrap up the show, is the customization features that are coming in this car, which has been a hallmark of Mini from the very beginning. And the history of this car, people like to dress them up and do funky things to them. And now they've done two things. One, there's some interior lighting features now. You can get a backlit Union Jack dash, which is pretty damn cool, I think.
Yes.
It'll get old after a while, but you're like, hey, it looks cool. And so, like anything, I think it's a cool feature. But then this 3D technology where they do this 3D printing, you can custom do side scuttles or the dash panel. With whatever you want it to say, or your company logo, or something else. That's pretty cool, and they say it's going to be on demand within like weeks. Like a 2 to 4 week lead time to order this and get it in custom. I think it's a pretty cool thing. I don't know.
That's really cool.
I don't know if it's going to help sell cars, but it's going to make the enthusiasts happy. I'm not going
to buy one. I mean, I don't know why I would. I mean, I don't want my name on my car. But Gabe, I don't want to name my car a name.
I'm not going to name names, but we've all seen the people with cars. Let's say there's the blackjack guy who's freaky about everything. He's literally got everything from the seat covers are blackjack, the door.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
You're right.
Are blackjack. Right. The side scuttles are blackjack. He's got the blackjack roof flag. He's got the mirror caps. He's got the reverse mirror cap. The rear view mirror cap. Everything. Or she.
Just saying.
We know those people. Yes. We know that, and I say it, I'm using air quotes, that guy.
Yeah.
They're people, and they do it with all kinds of things.
Well, and they're good people, too. I mean, I think they've got their thing, and it's different, and I think you're right. And actually, you bring up a very good point.
That's who this is servicing, is the people who are just fanatical about the cars, which I think is fantastic. I love it when people do stuff like that. It's just like, hey, more power to you, man. Yeah.
I agree. I agree, and I think it's going to be interesting. I in my mind, this is just the start. I think that the opportunity to 3D print any plastic part on the car is there. I mean, within reason. Obviously, the door sills are pretty big. That probably won't work, but
there's a lot of snap-on parts on this car that are DIY kind of things, and I'm talking about side scuttles, mirror caps, things like
exactly
that you can pry off and replace yourself, or for very inexpensively to have the dealer do it if you're afraid to do it yourself. But either way, there's a lot about this car that you could customize for not a lot of money and just a little bit of engineering cost. That's the thing, is I think we've gotten to the point where engineering costs have now decreased to the point so much, and on-demand technology such as 3D printing have made it to where you don't have to have a warehouse full of this stuff and predict this is how many people are going to buy it. So it's genius, and like you said, I think we're just at the very early stages of seeing what this is going to do and change all car companies about customization of your cars.
Yeah, I think it's really, really cool, and it's going to get way cooler.
Yep.
I only have one thing about the LCI to say, and that is black grille and black headlight surrounds are not going to help sell the damn four-door. That car's just not going to help.
But it's
not going to help.
It looks so good in that
No,
gray.
it doesn't.
I'll tell you, that gray looks amazing.
No, it looks green.
We didn't talk about the new colors.
It looks green. That gray looks green.
Yeah,
it looks like a military color.
So I love the gray, but this is the first orange. This is the first orange Mini's ever created that I think isn't like I don't want to vomit when I see it.
Well, I don't even call volcanic orange.
It's not orange. I love orange as a color for a car. I love orange, and I've wanted a real orange Mini for a long time, something that wasn't a creamsicle or a Dust Bowl.
Right.
And we finally have it. This is it.
I like Spice Orange. I thought
Spice Orange was good.
No.
It was close. It wasn't a hugger orange, but it was close.
Exactly.
I like the burnt orange. It kind of grew on me over time.
Yeah, this. I mean, the new orange looks pretty nice. It actually looks like orange, so that's nice. Yeah. So it's got that going for it, which is cool, I suppose. It's actually like 70s Charger orange. But that gray, gray's really awesome. Green. It looks like a camouflage color on the four-door. It's weird.
I think it's fantastic. I would if I could get that in a Countryman with black wheels, a bunch of black trim. Oh my god, it'd be sweet.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, the black trim anyway is going to be that trim piece, that chrome piece anyway that they talk about. DV. It's the same on all the cars. It's a little bit different on the Clubman. It's larger on the Clubman. But everything from the hardtop to the four-door to the convertible, they all share the exact same part number there. Right. So the blackout grille trim will be available, as are the headlight rings and taillight rings. They are also the same on all of those
Sure.
models.
I was just making it a point to mention that the blackout
stuff
in the press isn't going to help the four-door. Yeah, that's all I was doing.
I agree. God damn it!
Sorry, Gabe. I hate that there's a car that
I was saying this earlier on Black Roof Radio, which everybody should join. By the way,
I really just want to like it, but I just can't.
Yeah,
it's great. It looks great from 3/4, and then you see the back, and you're like, oh,
yes, or you see it from the side.
The car's a butter. This is a terrible term. The car's a butterface.
No,
yes,
that's really bad.
Yes,
that's totally insensitive.
No, that car is a total butterface.
I've been drinking. I'm not responsible for that comment.
No, I'm uncomfortable with this conversation. Anyway, it looks bad in the back. Is the proper way to say it. Looks good in the front. I like the black trim. What else can I say?
I will say this new gray doesn't look bad on the four-door from the front 3/4 view, which is the only way you can look at this car.
Yes, that's true.
Four-door? I should say it's not a butterface car. It's a butter-ass car.
Right.
Oh, man.
That's even worse.
I couldn't get my... I just
keep digging the hole deeper, Gabe, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything. I will say this... If you really can, if you can possibly wait for the new engines, and the DCT, I would do that.
Screw it. Go buy a JCW right now.
With a manual.
Exactly. If you're getting a manual transmission,
get that JCW.
And you don't care, just go get your car.
Yeah,
you're all set.
There's no reason to wait for it. And this is one last thing. Is I had this idea the other day. And asked my dealer, this is just anecdotally anyway. I said, okay, of all the JCWs, they've been selling a lot lately. Like a couple months ago, 30% of the cars sold in the month were JCWs.
And your dealer?
Yeah, at my dealer. So I asked the question, I said, of JCW buyers, what do you think percentage-wise people are previous owners? And they went damn near 100.
Yeah.
Like people who buy JCWs are previous Mini owners, almost exclusively.
I would imagine so. I mean, that's like, duh.
And I think that's interesting. And I wonder if the same holds true, Gabe, about BMWs. Do people make a purchase of an M car? Is that their first BMW? How many?
Do you want to hear something crazy?
I can't imagine.
The M3, M4. Well, the data I have is from like 10 years ago.
Okay.
But about 10 years ago, the M3, before there's M4, they were all M3s, was the average age of the M3 buyer was the youngest.
Really?
All BMWs.
Huh.
So the reason why is because it appealed to young people, and young people would basically, live in a tiny apartment and eat ramen to be able to afford it.
But they have an M3.
Yeah, no, that's true. It's true. They had BMW Financial, the percentage of loan default or lease default, it was by far the highest on that car.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, no joke. People would do anything they could, and they were 23, 24, 25 years old.
They couldn't afford it.
And they got their first job, and they're making good money. But, suddenly they meet a lady, there's other things they have to pay for, and shit hits the fan.
Yeah,
right.
and by no means do I think all JCW owners, like I know a lot of JCW owners who are like, they bought the car used, it's pre-owned, okay, and it was their first Mini.
Right.
I get that, but I think if you come in and you buy a brand new JCW off the dealer showroom floor, or you order one, I think a rather large, high percentage of those, and I'm thinking it's above 80%.
That makes sense to me.
Are previous Mini owners.
That totally makes sense to me.
Yeah.
So
I gotta tell you, man, JCWs, if you can afford a little bit extra a month, it's such a great experience. I mean, they're gonna get faster, they're gonna get better, but even the current ones, especially manuals.
And I said this about my car too.
Car.
And I will leave it at this: is that right now in time, I think Mini is making the best cars they've ever made.
By far.
They're making the best cars. I had a discussion with one of our techs, and they said, sales are down, sure, but they're getting worried too because service is down, and that's because other than that, we got over some of the initial hiccups in 2014 and 2015 of these cars. Right now, the F56 generation cars are not breaking. They are really reliable.
It's a legitimate problem, and so what I heard when they launched the car from the engineers is essentially that this was the first time that BMW, they took over the Mini big time,
right?
And there are, as if you know BMW long enough, and especially the recent history, where they. Sorry, I almost said something bad. You know where they mess up. You know when they're they're sort of over their skis, if you will. And when they have to double down, they want to double down, and they want to create something that's going to be really well, solidly engineered. It may not have the highest horsepower. It may not 0 to 60 and this and that, but it's solidly German, engineered.
Mm-hmm.
And reading between the lines, that's exactly what these engineers are telling me. It's like, we really worked on this car. We worked our asses off. We brought in some of the best people from all over BMW to make this generation as solid as possible. And we thought about every tiny little detail to make it as solid as possible. And for those who have R50s, R53s, and R56s, etc., you can't say that they did that before. I mean, Clearly not every detail was thought through in every little situation. So say what you will about that snout, but these new cars are really well built.
They really are well built.
They seem to be holding together really well.
And just to finish my point there, and what I was going to say, the JCW that I have now, that I'm about to hit the 2-year mark that I've owned this car, it is the favorite Mini I have owned. Hands down. I think I like it even better than my GP.
Wow.
It was so different. It's hard to say. Like, there was things about the GP that I really loved, but overall, my JCW now is a better car, and I like driving it more than I like driving the GP. I feel more confident in this car. Got more power, and as much as I did love that car, and I think I still love the vintage aspects of it, this is a better car, and I have more fun driving it on a day-to-day basis. It's a much better built car, and that's the thing. It's just taken time for people to figure that out. A lot of people have been pissed off so much about Mini because they had a lemon or whatever. There was reliability issues and Consumer Reports, and it was always last in JD Power. And it's just taken some time to rebuild that in the United States because we're a very fickle consumer community. But like I said, the most positive thing I can say is, man, Mini is making the best cars they've ever made in the States. And just the sales numbers boggle my mind why they're not better, because it's such a great car.
Yeah,
I agree. I totally agree.
Well, there you go.
There it is.
And I think with that, we're going to be done.
As a positive note, see?
That was
Nice.
a positive note.
Wow,
There
look
you
at
go.
you. Let's tap. Let's all pat. Let's.
Tony Robbins on the show tonight, people.
I won't even say. I won't even say anything about Dakar. It's not positive.
There you go. Except for the whole. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. We'll keep it. We'll keep positive. All the news, of course. You guys, and just we only do this to make Gabe twitch, but really, just get your mini news from MotoringFile.com. He really freaks out when you guys post links back to Jalopnik or the other sites.
Don't do that.
He really
don't do that. They don't care about minis. They hate you and they want to kill you.
Yes.
Or kill everything you
Just
care about. I don't know.
Go over to MotoringFile.com instead.
Hate
Yeah, Brian does it in our Slack channel just to get a rise out of Gabe, and it's really kind of cute. But really, just go over to MotoringFile.com. All the news that you are looking for is available there, and has been for, what are we going on now, Gabe? 30 years for MotoringFile.com?
Guys, 15 years coming up here. 15
years. MotoringFile, dbmini.us, 15 years. Unbelievable. Crazy stuff.
First blogs ever.
Yes, well, not really. The first mini blogs, though.
I'm joking. It's a joke. Joke.
Well,
I mean, they're not. Yeah, MotoringFile was its blogged period ended in 2004, but
correct. Yes, back when it was Bridger.us/mini. Boy, that was a long time ago. Todd, did you ever update your bookmark? I'm just curious.
Actually, the title of the bookmark still says Bridger.us.
Really?
I've kept that URL for you.
Yep.
That doesn't actually work, does it?
Right now, it says Bridger.us/mini. Yep, that's the title. Now, granted, it directs to Motoring File, but I still
it doesn't.
renamed
It directs
I've got an auto direct. It's still going.
No, it doesn't.
It is?
It's directing to a really crazy link at Bridger.us.
I got Bridger.us/mini as my title for that.
All right. And yeah, crazy stuff. Anyway, we're done. Anyway, thanks, Gabe, for joining us tonight. We always appreciate it. It's always great. We've been on a roll getting Gabe lately. Again, MotoringFile.com. Don't forget about Todd, MotoringStripes.com. Todd, there's something new coming to Motoring Stripes.
Yeah, go buy some fantastic coming by the time you hear this, some Mini Takes the States merchandise
that's approved?
Oh, yeah.
Pretty damn cool.
Is it been approved?
Oh, yes. See, that's the thing, but it's taken a little bit of time, and no lawyers were involved, but hey.
Okay.
There's agreement, so
there's actually a link at MotoringStripes.com. Says MAMTTS 2018. Go ahead and click that. Todd's got you guys taken care of for all of the graphics that you're going to want for your car. Don't be that guy posting in one of the MTTS Facebook groups like 3 weeks before the event, going, "Hey, I didn't get any graphics. Where do I get my graphics?" Don't be that guy. Don't let your friends be that guy. Yeah. Okay?
Get it
Nobody
now.
likes
Get
that
it
guy.
now.
Just get it now. Post a link. Post this on all your mini club boards so that everybody knows. And then just keep it in your wherever so that you can somebody goes, "Hey, where do I get the graphics?" You can just send them a link. Just do it.
And then when you get your stuff, do me a favor, take a picture of it on your car and then just repost it to all your social media.
Yes. That would be
and tell people
be rad.
Got it. That's always the most.
And you can also tag White Roof Radio in that picture, and you can also tag Todd's Mods if you're posting on Instagram. Tag both of us there, and we might even use it as show art. Just saying, or Todd might use it for marketing material. Make some money off of your car. Boom.
I'll just scroll through it while I'm drinking,
or he'll just scroll through as he's drinking. Anyway, MotoringStripes.com.
How's that? I'll give you a thumbs up.
There you go. MotoringStripes.com. MTTS 2018 page. Keep an eye on that. Thanks again to you guys for sticking with us for yet another year. We're actually in our 12th year. Very exciting stuff. We got a lot of big events this year. Hopefully we're able to attend a bunch of them. For those of you who are Black Roof Radio subscribers, you can get Black Roof Radio. It's been available for a couple days now, and you can get that over at patreon.com/White Roof Radio. And if you're wondering why I keep bugging you guys to give me money for this, and because I'd like this to be my job. This would be really cool if this is actually my job. And I think it'd be really cool if we could actually produce a show for you that did not require any sponsors. And that's clearly
that should be everybody's goal. By the way,
I like
in all seriousness,
I like having sponsors because we have amazing sponsors. We really do. Out Motoring and Craven, those guys rule. But how awesome would it be if we were saying the world famous listener supported White Roof Radio?
Well, can I go a slightly different direction? How awesome would it be if we could say this is DB's job?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to throw it out there.
Exactly.
Everybody listening, that's our goal is we actually get DB doing this full time.
Right.
We bring you more White Roof.
Yeah,
and this gets even bigger.
More Ride Bikes Radio.
You know what?
I'm talking to Fire.
Free. You got to pay for a subscription to that thing.
Exactly. I mean, I'm talking to Fireball Tim. We're going to bring back the Hollywood Car Show. We're going to get that going this year. Finally, we got a lot of cool stuff planned. So, just trying to let you guys participate a bit and make me some money at the same time. Patreon.com/White Roof Radio. There.
Yeah, he's tired of drinking gin out of a squeezy bottle.
I'm tired of drinking. I'm tired of buying Kirkland brand tequila.
just my one rule, never buy liquor in a bottle that bounces.
Actually, I'm gonna actually really quick that Kirkland tequila actually not bad.
It is good.
It's actually not bad.
Costco brand tequila is very good, and the gin isn't bad.
And we should have did this during Black Roof, but because I just recently went back to a Costco, they have totally upped their game in booze. Seriously.
Yeah,
I was
really
impressed.
And their wine selection's second to none.
Yeah, their wine. I mean, I even got two $20,000 bottles of scotch while I was there. I mean, it was only $20,000.
By the way, DB, do you know that Costco employs sommeliers, professional sommeliers, in the wine section? They're not there all the time, but they do.
Oh, dope! See, I love Costco.
Yeah, they really do.
I just love Costco. I just love them. Anyway, we are done for the weekend. Thanks again for sticking around, like I've already mentioned. New show will be up in another 2 weeks. Hopefully next time we come back, we'll have Chad and Brian with us. We'll find out about Chad's adventures in Las Vegas. Update. Chad went to Secret Pizza. Okay. Hopefully we'll get more information about that.
Did you go Secret Pizza?
Yeah, Chad went to Secret Pizza tonight.
The Cosmo.
At Cosmo? Yeah. He checked in on Facebook.
It's not so secret if everybody knows about it.
It's just what they call it.
It's just what they call it.
It's delicious pizza.
It's really good
delicious.
pizza. And it's a pain.
It's actually solid.
It's a pain in the butt to find unless you go every time. But if you're some random guy who goes to Vegas every other year like me, and I go, I really want Secret Pizza, it takes me a half an hour to find it. But it makes it kind of worthwhile because it's kind of a challenge, right? It's frick, where was it? And then you find it, and it's always, yes, I found it. I have been victorious. Hands raised. Just saying.
Solid.
Anyway, guys, thanks again. This is the part of the show, though, because we are done. This is where I do like to make that funny clicking sound, and then I say, questions, comments, or concerns, go ahead and click back over to whiteroofradio.com. There you can leave us a note in the show notes. You can also email us. Who's going to email us? Honestly, it's the 21st century. Stop emailing me already.
Yeah, one of my local news stations actually, since today was a really icy day, and they closed literally everything, right? So today the news station put together crashes from Kansas City from street cams and police and all of this.
Nice.
And it was epic.
Nice.
That's the best stuff ever.
Yeah. People just
awesome.
being total asshats.
If you ever want to see something hilarious, go to just YouTube Portland ice storm.
Oh, that's always that's
Atlanta ice storm.
Portland's always classic because it's that one hill and cars are just it's like pinball machines going like a pinball.
Well,
machine.
poor bastards don't know how. Like they're
Yeah.
just not used to it.
My favorite was the bus that started bouncing off everything.
Oh, that was awesome.
Down the hill.
Yeah, that's great.
I've been actually my latest kick on YouTube has been doing brake check videos. Have you guys watched any of these?
No,
it's
I
classic.
immediately want to go and do that though.
Because it's like the dumbest people on the planet that are just coming to a dead stop on the freeway, usually behind large trucks, or they're brake checking large trucks because who knows, because they're stupid, and it's just like, oh look, you just got
Because they never
nailed.
took physics and they don't understand inertia.
Yes. Well, that's a little
just so
nerdy,
you know,
but yeah.
it auto completed when I searched. It said brake check cop.
Nice. Yeah, brake check videos are pretty epic, gotta say. Anyway, you guys have fun with that.
Dash cams. Who's got dash cams?
Dude, dash
Oh
cams
my
are all over,
God.
even in the United States now. It's a huge thing.
Sorry, I just saw.
It's a
like
thing.
brake check.
Let me do an intro.
Anywhere.
Let's do a show.
A detail for cars that say "Smile, you're on dash cam."
Oh, that was a mini convertible. Just brake check this SUV.
Oh, there's a couple minis, especially if
Holy
you look
mini-
at the UK ones. There's a couple
And that
minis that
was-
get hammered. Yeah, it's
Holy
awesome.
shit! And that was, by the way, top down.
Yeah,
Stupid.
All right.
awesome. Now, Gabe. Okay, there we go. Brake check. I'm sorry that I actually brought that upon you, Mr. Bridger. I apologize for that. Let me do an intro. Let's do a show.